Okay, we'll start again. Adoption of the minutes.
That the minutes of the April 27th, 2023 West Elgin Council meeting be adopted as circulated and printed.
Okay, moved by Teresa, seconded by Michelle. All in favour? It's carried. Business arising from the minutes. Seeing none. We go to the consent agenda. There's an awful lot on the consent agenda today, and so I know people have done a lot of reading. I've just got one thing off that I'd like to just say about the county council approved the extending the existing reduced speed zone along Furnival Road for an additional 190 metres, and the establishment of a community safety zone within the school zone area. So I thank them very much for doing everything in a timely fashion, and I'm pleased to see it's going to get done over the next few days, I think. So anyone else got anything on the consent agenda that they want to talk about? Teresa?
8.4.1. Is that still considered the consent agenda? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if we can get a letter back to Mrs. Smith in regards to her question there about the composition of the Old Town Hall Committee, and let her know why it's comprised that way from council.
Okay, is that it? Yeah. That'll be done. Okay, so we're going right up to no. Oh, I better ask for a mover and a seconder for that. Oh, we don't need one.
Just
Pardon?
that the consent agenda for May 11th, 2023 be received and filed.
Okay, Bill, Michelle, all in favour? Carried. Okay, 9.1, miscible drains. Have we got Robert on there? Welcome, Robert. Oh, could we have section 78, notice of request for drain major improvement, Lamont drain. If you'd like to carry on, please.
I'd love to, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I guess this would be more of a drainage question. Are we dealing with the planning or the drainage?
Oh, I'm sorry, but
I'm ahead of myself.
the drains came first on the sheet.
My apologies for the confusion.
So in actual fact, can you just read the recommendation for what I just read out? And then we'll get a mover and seconder and move on to Robert.
That the council of the municipality of West Elgin receives and decides to proceed with the Lamont drain improvement request under section 78 of the Drainage Act received from the municipality of West Elgin Public Works Department, and instructs the clerk to notify the Lower Thames Valley Conservation Authority as required under section 78(2) of the Drainage Act for drainage improvements, and that the requesting landowner be notified of council's decision to proceed, and that an engineer be appointed under the appropriate section of the Drainage Act after the 30-day time period from the notice of council's decision was sent to the Lower Thames Valley Conservation Authority and OMAFRA has passed.
Okay, can I have a mover and seconder on that, please? Bill, Teresa, all in favour? It's carried. Now we're moving to plan, Robert. The severance application for E2423 and comments to Elgin County about 25785 McMurtry line. Could you please carry on from there? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Good morning, council. This is an application for surplus dwelling severance. The current owner and the prospective purchaser have entered into an agreement of purchase and sale. The house and outbuildings on the property are surplus to the prospective purchaser's needs, and they qualify under the policies to sever it as surplus. There's nothing unusual about this request, save and except the fact that the lot is a bit larger than than the norm. We do generally see surplus dwelling severances more in the 1 to 2 acre range. We have seen some increases in size as of late because I've noticed that many of the dwellings located throughout West Elgin are actually located quite some distance off the road. So it certainly creates a challenge sometimes to make sure you're incorporating enough land to accommodate the lot, but at the same time also being mindful that the policy wants us to ensure that we're not removing active farmland as part of these severances. In this particular instance, the entire area is wooded. They're trying to follow the footprint of the principal wooded area that's on the property and maintain that with the lot. They do actually utilize trees in the on the property for heating purposes and replant what's removed in order to maintain the wooded area. The owner of the property would also like to obviously maintain that, and these lands are not really suitable for clearing, nor really should they be for expanding the farm uses. There is a bit of a ravine to the rear of the lot that will remain with the farm, and that will remain essentially as is. The farmland will continue to be farmed, and the wooded area with the dwelling will continue to be used for now a non-farm residential use. As a condition of the severance, obviously the remnant farm parcel will need to be rezoned to prohibit future dwellings, and the lot will need to be recognized for its now non-farm use, and that application will be filed. Once the land division committee reviews and considers the application, the zoning will come back to council for approval. Unless there's questions for council or from council or from the public, that is all I have, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on that? Seeing none, could I have the recommendation, please?
That the council of the municipality of West Elgin hereby receives the report from Robert Brown Planner regarding severance application file E24-23, comments to Elgin County Planning Report 2023-019. And that the council of the municipality of West Elgin hereby recommends approval to the Land Division Committee of the County of Elgin for severance application file E24-23, subject to the lower tier municipality conditions in Appendix 2 of this report. And further, that the council of the municipality of West Elgin directs administration to provide this report as municipal comments to the County of Elgin.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Michelle? Bill? All in favour? It's carried. 9.3, 9.3.1. Magna, Vera, CAO Treasurer 2023, Old Town Hall insurance premiums.
Good morning, Council. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So we briefly, in the past, last few meetings, we briefly discussed Old Town Hall. Just recently, I received a note from the insurance as the Old Town Hall building was reported to the insurance company as being vacant. Therefore, the change in our policy premium is affecting that building. So, and typically insurance premium when the building is vacant, they increase significantly as there is no one that is in the building on a daily basis. No one is actually monitoring the equipment, inspecting or being proactive with noticing any issues with the building. Therefore, the premiums are higher. And it was brought to my attention that basically, based on the coverage that we currently have with our insurance company, they are unable to provide us with that coverage anymore. And council would need to make the decision whether, in case something happens to the building, whether they want full replacement cost based on the current market value of the building, or if, let's say, something happens to the building completely burns down, council can choose to have an option of just having coverage just for the demolition and removal of debris, which is significantly lower. So in my report, I presented two options. So currently, if council decides to go with option one, we've already, our insurance that we paid at the beginning of the year, we already paid $5,100 based that on the assumption that building was fully occupied by Service Ontario and Tiny Tots. Unfortunately, things have changed. So now, if we want the same coverage for the building, additional $11,500, it is going to cost us. If council decides to go with option two, which is just cost for the insurance to cover the cost of demolition, we will be getting refund of $2,100. That this needs to be taken care of as soon as possible, as the insurance company was notified that the decision will be made at May 11th council meeting, and I would strongly recommend for council to make that decision today.
Okay, thank you. I know everybody probably wants to speak on this one, so Bill, please.
Well, I suppose in light of the recent decision to create an ad hoc committee to research the feasibility and justification of keeping the building, repurposing it, or finding something else to do with it, I think that it would only be responsible of us to maintain the proper level of coverage. If we were to go to the demolition value, that's not send a message to the community that there's any willing or desire to to find a use for this building, which we're certainly not to anywhere near the conclusion of that, but my thoughts are that we need to make sure that it's properly covered while we do our work.
Jill, please.
I second Bill's, whatever the decision is from the council and the community as to what we're doing. It doesn't make sense at this time to be putting less insurance on it, which I know is an added cost, but I think for the time being, should leave it.
Chris.
Yeah, the added cost at this time is with the message we need to send to the community, and we haven't made a decision and have this committee. So yeah, we'd have to do the added cost and go with our commitment to find an answer for the building and what's going on at this time.
Okay, and just for my 2 pennies worth, I agree with the entire council at this time, just to keep that on until this committee has sorted something out, which way we go. So it looks like, Madam Treasurer, we're going to go to
Option number one.
option number one. Can I have a recommendation for that, please?
That the Council of the Municipality of West Elgin hereby receives the report from M. Bedora, CAO Treasurer, re 2023 Old Town Hall insurance premiums for information, and that council approves amending insurance coverage for the Old Town Hall by approving option number one that supports amending coverage to an actual cash value basis of settlement of $1,205,800, subject to a minimum $10,000 deductible limit estimated by the risk management services, which will increase the annual premium by an additional $11,530.
Okay, Teresa moves it. Michelle seconded. All in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Okay, 10.1, council reports from committees. Then yes, Michelle.
Just from Fort County Transit, we did learn that we have hired a part-time bus driver, so we now have 2.
Good.
The bus is delayed until July right now, but the other one is up and running. So for now, that's good.
Good,
Yeah.
everything's running smooth.
Yeah.
Anyone else with anything? Okay, could I have a recommendation, please? Oh, Actually, there isn't one for that. Okay, so we go into accounts. Everybody look at the accounts, all questions answered. Could I have the recommendation for that, please?
That the deputy mayor and treasurer of the municipality of West Elgin are hereby authorized to sign payment voucher number 5 amounting to $421,594.54 in settlement of general road, water, and arena accounts, including EFT number 6591-277, online payments number 1159-21164, check number 26169 to 26180, and payroll PP 09.
Okay, can we have a mover for that? Michelle? Tressa seconded. All in favour? It's carried. Council inquiries and announcements. Notice of motion? Yes, Bill, please.
Yeah, Mayor Lee, I do have a notice of motion for council to hear and consider if it's worthy of such a motion. I would like to inquire about asking staff to look into the possibility of donating or selling West Elgin's property that is known as the rail trail or the railway from Rodney to Blacks Lane to the Lower Thames Conservation Authority in return for them to take on that responsibility and create a path. I'm not asking for that to be done today. I'm just asking for staff to investigate the feasibility of that.
Yeah,
Has Lower Conservation Area shown interest in that?
Not to my knowledge, however, it has been done in other jurisdictions of Ontario.
I can speak on that one just a little bit, as I sit on that. I know they'd be very interested to have a look and feel quite honoured that we'd offered it that in that way. So I think we just got to wait and put it to them if that's what you do, and then they'll come back to you with the decision. They do get land donated on a quite regular basis, and I know that they do appreciate it. Yes, Trish.
This is very timely because at our engagement session, I got talking with a resident from West Lauren, and she was asking, do we have more trails? Are we looking at doing more trails? What would that look like? So it's very timely. So I would second Councillor Jennings' motion, if that's okay.
Okay. We all in favour of that motion? Yeah, that's carried. If you will send them a letter, and we'll see what comes of that one. Statements and inquiries by councillors. Anything? Okay. So I think we're going to go into a closed section. Can I have the recommendation, please?
That the council of the municipality of West Elgin council hereby proceeds into the session of the meeting that shall be closed to the public at 10:44 a.m. In accordance with section 239(2) of the Municipal Act SO 2001, chapter 25, for discussion of the following matters.
Can I have a move? Sorry.
Number 1, security of municipal property, section 239(2)A of the Municipal Act. And number 2, personal matters about an identifiable individual, section 239(2)B of the Municipal Act.
Thank you. Can I have a mover and seconder? Michelle, Bill, all in favour? Carried. We're now in close.